Lindan in China, the 7th largest city in the country. This is the 20th edition of the World Championships, and these some of the players we can look forward to over the next few hours, including the number 1 and 2 seeds in the men's singles in Lee Chong-wei and Chen Long. Saina Nehwal, of course, a big draw here, and Wang Xian, 2 of the big draws in the women's singles. Then later on, the number 1 seeds in the women's doubles, Wang and Wu taking on Cheng in C8 of Chinese Taipei. Lindan, world number 100 now, but taking on Eric Peng. And then the number 1 seeds in the men's doubles, Ko and Lead, taking on Bonda and Peterson of Denmark. So lots to look forward to, and what's sure to be an enthralling day of badminton. Some of the crowds here in Guangzhou have already been enjoying some of the early play as well on the outside courts. This, of course, the most prestigious tournament in badminton. 5 disciplines, and first up we have women's doubles. Narissapat Lam, the youngster of Thailand, with the veteran Saralee, S.Thoungthongkam, up against Misaki, M.Matsutomo and A.Takahashi of Japan, the world ranked number 3. I'm Richard Kaufman. Alongside me is Steen Peterson. We're looking at the draw here, and I suppose the likely winner of this will meet here Zebadia Bernadette and Rizky Amelia Pradipta of Indonesia in the next round, but we'll have to wait and see how that match goes later. But the players are starting to come out of court. Steen, and a nice opening match for us.
Yeah, I think we've got an exciting match waiting for us here. I saw these 2 pairs playing in Denmark Open last year, and
yeah, went to 3 sets when they played at the Denmark Open. The Japanese pair you can see in your picture now, they came through in the end 21-15 in the final. But interesting combination this, isn't it, for Thailand? Saralee, double the age of Narissapat, and it's obvious why they've been put them together. You know, here's a young girl looking for experience, and what better person to try and bring her through than Saralee.
Perhaps the best female doubles player of Thailand. Very, very experienced. Primarily in the mixed doubles, but they get several experience with the mixed doubles partners also in her career.
So Cornelia Schroeder there, the German umpire, just making notes of who's going to be serving first, who's going to be receiving. Obviously the assumption is that when a pair are ranked number 3 in the world, they are going to be the ones that emerge and come out on top. But as we saw yesterday in the mixed doubles, we saw the number 5 seeds depart. Not always the case. So let's get to the nitty-gritty here. She is the youngster, Narissapat Lam, only 17 years of age. Her last tournament actually was the Asian Under-19 Championships, where she lost in the semi-finals. As you can see, together with Saralee, they've not played that many tournaments together. They're ranked 25. As you can see, pretty even in terms of career win. Their last event together, the Singapore Open in June, they lost in the first round. They did reach the 3rd round of the Thailand Open, and last November at the China Open, they beat the Japanese pair of Nato and Matsuo and Denmark's Peterson and R32. So they're capable, aren't they, of producing the goods. As for the Japanese pair, well, ranked number 3 in the world, you'd expect them to have a positive win-loss ratio this year. Finalists in their last outing, the Singapore Open. Lost to Jing Tian and Zhao Yunlei. Lost the same pair at the Indonesian Open in the quarterfinals. Won both their matches at the Sudirman Cup, beaten Peterson and Yule. Finalists at the Malaysian Open. And a couple of semi-finals this year as well, the German Open and India Open. So they've been very consistent all year long, but not really the kind of opponent you want to face in the 2nd round for them, isn't it? It's a tough one.
No, that's a very, very tough draw. Especially in World Championships here. for Super Series draw it to be quite okay. I mean, there's a lot of strong pairings there, but here at the World Championships, there's a quota for each country, and that means that we have some first round or second round matches that are considerably easier than this one. On the other hand, if you go through, then you sort of familiarize yourself with the venue, and you got confidence, you've been playing, you've been stretched, and you can go on, hopefully on a high level.
So Takahashi here. Coaches done all their preparation now. It's all down to the nitty-gritty the match itself. And against Thailand in the women's doubles.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Misaki M.Matsutomo, Ayaka Takahashi, Japan. And on my left, Narissapat, N.Lam, Saralee, S.Thoungthongkam, Thailand. Saralee, S.Thoungthongkam to serve, to Misaki M.Matsutomo, level, play.
Well, expectation, just looking at the world rankings, is the Japanese pair, the number 3 in the world, will steam through this, but the talent at the other end suggests that it could be closer than those rankings maybe point out. Too often you get a combination that's 17 and 33. That's what Thailand have got here. It's the 17-year-old who nets and gives Japan the opening point.
1 love.
It's a confident start from her, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 winners.
Love.
A little bit of luck with the first one. No luck about this one, though, was there?
Great save by the Japanese.
It's like Saralee said, oh, listen, I'll stay here, you run around, you're 17, I'm 33, you use your energy, and I'll get myself into the positions to back you up.
I think so too. That's pretty much the idea.
She was in action yesterday with Saralee in the mixed doubles, number 7, isn't she, in the world in that discipline. Came through in 3 sets on day 1, did this pair against Imogen Banka and Petya Nedelcheva.
Saralee to make really wise choices. Stroke selection we can see here. Very, very good choice of strokes.
Sets over. Ladies and gentlemen,
Whereas you expect very young partner to also, of course, try to make wise choices sometimes. Judging the situation a little. Saralee definitely knows what she's capable of and what she shouldn't try to do.
That's clever from Takahashi.
sets over. 3-0.
The skies will drop there. Three events in 2012.
4号场地的比赛即将开始。
Three gold events.
3.
Please welcome the technical officials and athletes to the top of play.
Yeah, it's hard to win events in ladies doubles when there's Chinese pairs competing, so GP gold events, sometimes Chinese are back playing, Chinese backers are league or practicing.
I mean, they
the other nations.
are red hot favourites, aren't they? Young and Macau.
Yeah, big surprise if they progress to the final.
The umpire, service judge,
5, 4.
Well, expected a tight affair, and that's what we've got so far in the opening 9 points.
在4号场地进行的是男子单打的比赛，由印度尼西亚运动员苏吉亚多对阵中华台北运动员许仁豪。
Competing on top four of the single are
Played here by Saralee.
6, 4.
许仁豪 Chinese Taipei.
裁判员朱丹达在
Yeah, to try to put a little bit more pressure on the younger part in the tie combination.
The umpire,
Narissapat,
service judge, Thoungthongkam.
as long as Saralee.
Narissapat, I mean, you say to target her, but she's obviously a real talent.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go through some of the things she's achieved already in a little while, but
You can see that she's been made to work already here.
she's answering all the questions.
She's answering the questions, but then suddenly one stroke at Saralee, and then it's difficult because as an experienced player, you often,
6.
when you don't get the chance that often, then when you get it, you want to really make something. Here it led to a mistake.
It's good. It's amazing the amount of young Thai talent that is coming through, isn't it, really?
7,
I mean,
5.
is it fair to say more than anywhere else in Asia at the moment?
Well, we don't know for sure because China, of course, they have a very, very strong senior team, so they don't have to let the young ones play yet, but they might as well be just as good.
But you look at the World Junior tournaments as well, though, I mean.
Yeah,
6,
they've been playing really well, doing really well there. Japanese women's department is also doing well. I think they have 3 out of 4 semi-finalists in the last World Junior Championships. So there are countries on the way forward in Asia. Thailand and Japan perhaps 2 most significant ones at the moment.
Certainly know they're in for a game here, do Takahashi and M.Matsutomo. I just find it interesting that we have a combination at 17 and 33, but there isn't, watching them on court, as if Saralee really is taking such a senior role, you know? There's kind of an equal platform there.
Yeah, I think she from what we can see, she does it in a very good way. She's helping her partner more than she can, and also sort of leaving room for her
10,
to take
7.
initiative. So very interesting to follow here in the next 1.5 years.
Well, they have a good lead at the interval here. Lam and Narissapat Lam and Saralee A.Takahashi. 11 points to 7. It's been a Very positive start from them. Number 3 seeds under a bit of pressure.
Are in the hole as it is right now. There's a slight drift from Thailand pair towards the Japanese pair again. That should, in the ladies doubles, make it a bit easier to score, having the initiative, having the attack.
Thank you. Coach, thank you.
I must suspect that
Thank you, Coach.
this is some of the things that they're discussing in the Japanese camp right now.
Thank you. Coach, thank you.
Plenty to talk about. The Japanese coach asked a
11,
few
7.
times there while you're watching some of the slow-mos to make his way into the corner. He's
Play.
obviously a little perturbed that the way the Ayaka dominated a little so far.
We had a bit of umpire slang here. Coach, thank you,
12,
means the time's
7.
up.
Yeah.
The second time and the third time you say it, that means get out of here.
But always polite.
Always polite.
13-7 now. It's a
30,
really
7.
big gap, isn't it? Not out by much.
Says over. 8, 30.
Be more judging it the shuttle forward, but just inches. Defense. Excellent play by the Thai combination here. Very, very nice defense from Lam
14,
and
8.
Saralee rushing to the net using her mixed double skills. Finishing it off.
Should be annoyed at
Says
that.
over. 9, 40.
So good at playing those. And great confidence as well. Put it wide. It's a good run of points for the Thai pair.
Just slice the smash a little bit.
Says over.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the Japanese tactics exactly were, but if it was to test out Narissapat, I mean, they've got to go to plan B, haven't they?
They got their answer. She's definitely stood up to the challenge, and the Thais have been controlling everything.
In fact, it's
Mistakes by
Saralee
Saralee
who's just
here.
played a couple of shots where she's just trying to push it a little bit too much than she needs to, really, because they are being so dominant.
Out.
That was well judged. Not
Says
easy to do
over.
that, is it?
16, 10.
It's hardly been a tournament for this Japanese player where they haven't got to at least the quarterfinals, certainly semi-finals and finals.
Says over.
That's why you get to number 3 in the world.
16.
But this is their first outing at the World Championships. I mean, this time round, because they'll be playing London in 2011. And we have to remember they're not old either, they're both 21 years of age, so
Very strong, young,
Says over.
coming on to the circuit.
17, 11.
yeah, obviously they're a pair that was very much fancied by the Japanese coaches, because at the Uber Cup last year they were chosen as the #1 pair, even though they were 20 in the world at the time, and there was 3 women's doubles pairs in the top 8. So they also had
18,
quite a bit of
11.
faith in them.
Definitely, their tactics hasn't worked, and they have to come up with something else. Try something. Perhaps. There's no doubt that they'll be trying to attack a bit more when they change the side. But they also need to find something working for an eventual third game. Perhaps it's better moving Saralee a bit around instead of directing everything at that. Yeah, there was
Goes over.
I would say, yeah.
12, 18.
As you say, then you're dealing with one of the best that Thailand's produced in this discipline.
So the idea would be to move her a little bit around, see if she gets a bit tired. Side shots as she has been so far.
That one's good.
Yeah,
Oh,
hold out.
pulled out. I thought that was good.
13, 18.
Well, maybe my eyes are deceiving me. Umpire had a really good view.
Oh yeah. Looked harder there. The first look I had at it was pretty certain it was in.
Yeah, maybe. It's 3 points in a row. It's a morale boost for the Japanese.
Still have a chance this game here, and even if they shouldn't win it, it's so important to find a recipe for this.
Trying to think of unforced errors that, I mean, like that Narissapat Lam's played. I can't really think of any.
15,
Haven't
18.
noticed them, but it's been 3 noticeable shots from Saralee that has gone wide when she's put a little bit under pressure. Oh, good service.
Well, now that 3 points in a row has turned to 5 points in a row.
16, 18.
And now just 2 points between them.
Got the momentum.
This first game looked done and dusted, didn't it? 18-11.
Clearly the best
Race
position
over.
for the child there.
19, 16.
Young Lam working at the back court, and Saralee on the front. She used to be from her mixed doubles play with Ayaka.
215 kilometers per hour. The smash from Lam just there.
She's really as good as she could. Yeah.
I mean, it's hard.
Yeah, I think the timing is a little bit off. There's a big hole, there's a wind blowing, and so on. So once you get to play more matches, you get more used to the timing of the hole, so to speak. It's a very different experience playing in a big hole with wind than playing in a smaller practice hole, perhaps without any wind at all. So you need to adjust your timing.
Well left, unfortunately, from
Says
Thailand's
over.
perspective. But
17,
keeps
19.
things tight. Good angles from the Thais, but good defensive work from the Japanese too.
N.Lam and Saralee to close this game. Stay lost it. Such a big lead.
Wonderful. Best rallies I've seen in the championship so far. And it's a winner from Takahashi that ends it. Excellent points. And, well, they've saved 2 game points now. 1 more to go.
19-20.
Some really classy shots there, wasn't it?
I think the Japanese are working out how to play their defense against the Thais. Don't give too much time. See some quick serves, flat ones. That is Thais under pressure from the beginning of the rally. This one is not too high.
That's why. Game point saved. 20 all now in this opening set, and the Thais must be wondering how this one is slipping away.
Sort of killing themselves in the rallies because they keep attacking even though the position is a little bit worse than it was at the beginning of this game.
Saralee, Japanese pair, absolutely destroyed that.
21-20.
2 times actually, because I think the shot from Lam, previous shot would have been wide. The net ball as well.
So their full game point of this opening set. Kill, retrieval. Oh yes! Saralee takes the point for Thailand and the opening game. But I have to say, Steen, some encouragement there for the number 3 seeds at the end of that game, that there is a way back in this.
Yeah, of course it's a little bit disappointing when now that they've caught up and not being able to win the game in a way, but they have to focus on that they've been winning the last third of this first game and sort of found the recipe, so now they have to keep working really, really hard, and I think any danger that this can happen, they're quite crazy now. Japanese girls, they know that this can be done, and I think we'll see them come back here in the second game and forcing a rough game. Players for keeping the composure and sealing the first game, even though
Had a bit of luck, didn't they, that 20-year point. Yeah. I mean, that easily could have been the other way. I was a bit demoralised when against them, even though they played it well and they just brought it back from 2017 to 20-0. That's the way it goes sometimes. They always say it evens itself out over the course of the year.
Hold 1, 20 seconds. Hold 1, 20 seconds. Hold. Thank you. Thank you. Ayaka.
Japanese coach is ramsing away. first 2/3 of that opening set.
Ladies,
You definitely have to
second
try
game.
to keep attacking.
Level.
Because that has been working so well.
Play.
Only they should be in good positions when they attack. They start out a little bit under pressure. Better to play controlling shots. So that's a good one.
Well, this is anything like the rest of the set. We're going to be in for a long one here, Steve. Are you counting?
No,
How disappointing it should end like that.
I think the Japanese, they
One lock.
create some possibilities for themselves when they put Saralee on the backcourt.
Quite warm in here as well. Inside this TianHe gymnasium, isn't it? Just fitness will come into it, won't it?
Good thing for Saralee is that she doesn't have to play mixed today. There's no mixed doubles today. For other categories.
Two love. Show's over. 1-2. Whoa. Show's over.
Turn there was
3-1.
really ready for that flick.
Show's over. 2-3. Show's over. 4-2.
Okay, start. Start that hope for the second game. They hope to get ahead quite early here. Some
Show's over.
confidence.
3-4.
Force down from Saralee helps their cause.
I must say, it's a little bit disappointing that the Japanese are not working a little bit
5-3.
more on getting Saralee on the backcourt, and when she is on the backcourt, try to keep her there. It's too easy for her to get herself moving towards the net.
trouble here, aren't they? You have to say. Matsutomo and Takahashi now game down 6-3 now. They've got still plenty of time to turn things around, but that time will start slipping away if they don't get a move on. As I can say, the points are coming too easily, really, for Narissapat and Saralee. Saralee put her serve into the net to make it 4-3, and then 3 unforced errors from the Japanese. Matsutomo can't believe it. Takahashi can't look.
Body language of the Japanese pair isn't really promising.
Well, because they've just done that 4 points in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you say to one another? First time you go, oh, don't worry, carry on. Second time, yeah, it's okay. And then after, when it comes 3 and 4, you know.
Get a grip. Now, partner, we got to do something here because otherwise we're going home. They got to win this one. Both these pairs, of course, but these pairs are in the third quarter of the draw, and in the third quarter of the draw, there are no Chinese pairings. So that adds a little bit to the tension of the players because there's a medal up for grabs here. It's considerably easier winning a medal when you don't have to battle Chinese pairings. It can of course be done, but it's much harder beating a Chinese pair in women's doubles in China to get a medal. Here it's just the rest of the world you have to take on. So perhaps
that's a good point.
Perhaps the Japanese are feeling the weight of the expectation. They're the number 3rd seed, so they should be the medal favorites.
A nice serve there. They picked up 3 points in a row. You're right. They are. You know, everyone would have talked in Japan. What a good draw, and what you're saying. No Chinese there.
Thinking to themselves, my God, they're lucky. But they're also doing what they should do to be lucky.
I know, it is demoralising, isn't it? You know, as I said, it happened at 20, it'll just happen there again.
But we have to give a lot of credit to these two guys.
Yeah, I mean, Narissapat, I mean, she's Jenika's come out of playing junior tournaments. She's won 3 events this year. The Victorian International in Australia in June, alongside a 15-year-old, Rureta Chainok Lei Suan, and the Thailand and Vietnam internationals as well with 16-year-old Putita.
Yeah.
It's not a bad start to your senior career, is it?
No, that's a great start, and it's very interesting because she's made some great results with Saralee, but they haven't put her out to play Super Series tournament with Saralee, even though Saralee is playing with Sutket in the mixed doubles. I think it's actually a wise move because you need to win matches to...
Exactly, get her out there winning tournaments.
To regain your confidence or to gain confidence.
But also you want to be in a situation where you've got match points and things to win tournaments, so that when you get to the level you need to be at Super Series, you know what it takes to get those points.
You're used to having 20. And if I compare them to the Danish pairing of Mads Kolding and Camilla Rudjul, they've only played very few tournaments outside of the Super Series. Mads Kolding hasn't played a lot of smaller tournaments, and they run into some draws, bad plays, and I feel that you could benefit from playing a little bit on the European circuit as well, getting confidence, not necessarily with Camilla Yule, but with another partner, and then go back play with her in the Super Series. So, good management by Thailand coaches. Mistakes keep coming from
10,
two Japanese
7.
players. Tried to clear a couple of times to Saralee, but every time there's a little bit of doubt whether it's Saralee or Narissapat Lam who should return the clear. You can see when there's doubt, it's always Lam.
I mean, how many more can they do like that? I mean, half the points that the Thai pair won in the opening exchanges of this second game have been like this. And it's 11-7 now to Narissapat and Saralee. Already a game up against the number 3 seeds.
They have really good quality defensive game, the Thais. M.Matsutomo misjudging this one or misreading this one, trying to make the chance even bigger instead of just blocking it, starting all over again. They have to, even though they are behind, they have to be patient.
So difficult though, isn't it? You keep seeing the shuttle come back at you. You see a winning possibility to stay that disciplined and wait for the right moment.
Yeah, you're right. Now we see the third time the umpire is sort of have to escort the Japanese coaches from the court, and I mean, it will be time for a warning, the way I see it.
Well, will they get time to coach again? This could be over. 2. A little bit of tension there, maybe, or just a miss hit for
I think just a miss hit. And the Japanese, I mean, if they are nervous, if they are affected by this situation, the possibility of winning a medal, then it's probably not tactical stuff that they need to hear in the intervals. It's just about getting them to play more freely. Just trying to remember a lot of advice is very, very difficult when you're, especially when you're under pressure. Feeling under pressure, feeling stressed.
Saralee, a long way in. She just strolled over to the shuttle, didn't she, really? I think she could have got there. Hadn't got down into position, the man that's been mopping the court. Umpire from Germany saying to start again. Denmark Open. You saw that one, Steen. The Japanese lost the first game there, but they managed to turn it around.
Yeah, but Denmark Open is a very different venue from this one. It's a very, very small arena and there's no wind at all.
14, 15. Sorry, correction. 14, 10.
They wouldn't mind 14, 15.
They definitely could have used those 5 points.
Was it a bit of clairvoyancy from Cornelia Schroeder, you should see.
They're not going to win from defense. Very clever play from Saralee and
15, 10.
a lot of other women's doubles pairs. They panic a little bit when the Japanese present this very, very strong defense, but the Thais they've just got it worked out.
15-10 now, Steen. I mean, it's a similar kind of lead to what they had in the last game, and of course, it got to 20-all in the end. But I mean, it is almost panic stations now, isn't it, for the number 3 seeds?
Something's going to happen. Something good is going to happen to the Japanese within the next 3 or 4 rallies. Otherwise, this is gone. I must say, except for the last perhaps 10 rallies in the first game, they've been totally out of this match. Saralee and Narissapat totally control, getting the game going on their terms.
Oh, gave it in, then gave it out. The line judge there.
Show's over. 11, 15.
The no was because from up where we're sitting, we can't really see what's happening close to the line.
We're not in line with that line.
So, whether it's a bit in or a bit out, it's very, very difficult.
Not getting a replay either to help us. Point goes Japan's way.
Ladies. Come to me, please.
Could prove to be a really, really crucial point, the one where the line jets suddenly change. Suddenly change her mind, because it would have been 16-10. Now it's 12-15.
That's long.
Show's over. 16, 12.
Well, this side of the draw really will be swung wide open, really, wouldn't it, if the number 3 seeds go out?
Show's over.
There are a lot of good pairs
13, 16.
part of the draw.
A lot of even pairs, though, isn't it?
We have the Indonesians, Bernadette, Rizky, Perdipta. We have the Koreans, Hwan Yom and Yina Yang. Probably now the favorites to take advantage of the Japanese pair. Should be possible.
Should stress, it's not done and dusted just yet.
Takahashi. The sisters already progressed to the 3rd round because she won the All Japan women's single that started this day for M.Matsutomo.
It's a similar pattern, isn't it, to game one. Well, the Thai pair here have led throughout this second game. This.
Oh, they saved it again.
What's a rally this is turning out to be? And what an effort in the end from Lam, but all to no avail. It's the Japanese who come away with a point.
16-17.
Well, that could be pivotal, couldn't it? I thought for a minute Narissapat was going to get that in cross court, but sure.
'Clever again by Saralee, just buying herself a little bit more rest between the rallies.
Let's have some breathing space. Well, we've had some wonderful rallies in this match. We've had some terrible unforced errors as well. A bit of everything.
It's so important it's been important throughout the whole match, but now it's even more imperative that you simply must control the rallies. You must have the initiative. So much easier if you're a little tense to just use overhead strokes.
Ladies and gentlemen, match number 4, Wells Fargo. Please welcome the technical.
Well, I mentioned the Japanese pair haven't yet been ahead in this game, and they still are.
18-17.
It's 18-17, but so it's a close game, but I feel that the Thai girls have played so much better than the Japanese. So for the Japanese still having a chance to sort of save this match is actually a little bit amazing.
I know what you mean. Well, possibly 2 points away from victory here. Narissapat and Saralee. This would be the biggest seeds to drop out of the World Championship so far. M.Matsutomo and Takahashi would drop out at this stage. It's been given wide, and it is match points. And by just saying that Saralee doesn't need to umpire. 3 match points. It was 2017 in the last game. They got it back to 20-all, the Japanese. And they do it again. No, they can't. Saralee, S.Thoungthongkam and Narissapat Lam have knocked out the number 3 seeds here on day 3 of the World Championships. And that quarter of the draw now is absolutely wide open. Medal hopes galore all round. And you have to say, the way they played here, the 17 and 33-year-old, they've got hopes themselves.
Yeah, definitely. They played extremely well the way I see it.
20, 21, 17.
Both players.
20, 21, 17 the scoreline. Yes, go on, Steve.
We expected Saralee to be dominant, and she was, but her young partner certainly played really, really well too, and that was exactly what they needed to pull this off.
Confirmation there of the scoreline. The number 3 seeds out. Narissapat, N.Lam and Saralee, A.Takahashi through 22-20, 21-17. Well, you can hear the cheers and you can see who's next. Chen-Long up against Sosazaki. The men's singles number 2 seed, the highest ranked Chinese player here this week. Chen-Long, very impressive in his opening round match up against the veteran Japanese in Sosazaki. And should be a good atmosphere inside the stadium with the world number 1 in the women's singles on the court adjacent to us as well, in Li Shuhui.
Okay, crossing first. What the choice? Yellow or blue? Yellow?
Of course, I'll focus on this one here as the umpire Eddie Rutianto goes through the pre-match preliminaries.
裁判员印度尼西亚鲁菲安托，发球裁判员澳大利亚特纳。
Well, had a big shock in the last match. This would be